All right. Hey everyone, this is Neha with College Shortcuts and Elite Private Tutors. I am so excited today because I have Erica here with me. Erica just found out that she got into Dartmouth College, which is super, super exciting. So what I want to do here is first, of course, I want to interview and I want to introduce Erica. So Erica, do you mind saying hi?
Hi, guys.
Hi. Okay, awesome. So Erica, tell me, what grade are you in?
12th grade.
12th grade. Okay, awesome. And one of the things I wanted to kind of start off with is asking you just a little bit about yourself, because I think a lot of times parents are wondering, what does it take to get into an Ivy League? So let's get into that conversation really quickly here. Now, what I want to know is, what would you say was your SAT score? Let's just get into kind of the data points.
Okay, my SAT score was a 1500, 760 math, and critical reading and writing was 740.
Okay, got it. And so 1500, just so for everyone on the line that may not know, that may have 8th graders or younger, 1500 is a great score. For many of you that may not realize that, a 1500, a 1600 is a perfect score. So great job, obviously, on that. You did an awesome job with it. Let's talk a little bit about your classes that you took in high school. Was it mostly regular classes? Was it honors? Was it AP? Can you kind of explain that a little bit further?
So I took 6 AP classes up to my senior year, and I'm enrolled in 9 this year.
Okay, got it. So tons of AP courses. And one of the things, on your resume that you talk about is your rank. So how many students are in your school?
I think there's 440 students in my class and over 1,000 in my school.
Okay, sorry, could you say that one more time?
I think there's over 1,000 in my school.
1,000 in your school, okay. And is it a public school or private school?
It's a public school.
It's a public school. And your rank was closer to where?
It was in the top, towards the top.
Very top. Okay, good. And so we're talking about it. So just so everyone knows, we're talking to a student who is a top achiever, very much like me in a lot of ways. Great SAT score, AP classes, great GPA. So really worked hard from the beginning. One of the things I want to get into is, let's talk a little bit about how you felt. Let's take a journey back into what it felt like to be Erica about 6 months ago when you were thinking about going to college. Can you tell me a little bit about how you felt about applying, about the essays and the process?
So I felt really overwhelmed. I knew I had to write a lot of essays and supplements, so I was trying to get organized, but it was just a lot, especially combined with like classes and everything.
Right. And let's talk about kind of your experience. You are one of the top students at your high school. When you were deciding on your list and figuring out all your stuff, how much time did you really spend with the counselor at school?
Well, my school doesn't really have college counselors. We have guidance counselors, so there was really no one to help me with college stuff.
Okay, and I think it's an important question to ask, because a lot of people assume that it's easy to get into a school like Dartmouth. Well, not a lot of people think that, but people know it's hard to get into, and they forget how important guidance can be. So in your school, you didn't really have, from what I'm hearing, kind of the level that you really needed to be looking at when you're at your level of the game to be applying to college. Would that be like an accurate viewpoint?
Yes.
And do you feel like even the students from the grade above you, like this has been a struggle at your school over and over?
Definitely.
Definitely, right? Yeah. So I think one of the biggest things that I love to talk about is just kind of the reality of the situation. Because if we have the reality and the truth, then we can obviously provide solutions and know what's the best for every kid, right? So let's talk about some of the schools you were looking at, because you had what I call a really fun list of colleges. So do you mind kind of listing off some of the colleges you were looking at?
So my reach schools were Dartmouth and Columbia and Johns Hopkins and some others. And then my target schools were, I think, Williams College in Swarthmore. Mm-hmm. And my target schools were, my safety schools were UT Austin and studies.
And I think did you also have Notre Dame on your list as well?
Notre Dame on my list.
I know, I have your list in front of me. I'm such a nerd. Okay, so you had some what I call pretty heavy hitters on your list. Now, Dartmouth, as everyone knows, is an Ivy League institution. You know, when you were looking at it, even when you were thinking about it a few months ago, was it a college that you thought was really a possibility of getting into?
I thought it was a possibility, but I felt overwhelmed, definitely, looking at like the admissions rate and everything.
Definitely. And then I'm going to ask you another question. So I've personally talked to your mom. Love your mom, actually. Very sweet lady. And, you know, one of the things that she kind of brought up was, you know, she was really concerned for you. She was really worried about this whole process for you. Did you feel like your mom could do the kind of work you needed and like knew everything inside and out to help you with this process?
I don't think she did. She's from another country, so the admissions process is really different there. So she was as confused as I was.
Got it. So this is the thing I want people to listen to. You know, you can't expect like parents to know everything, right? And you can't expect guidance counselors to know everything, right? Unless they've been there, they can't do it, you know? And one of the things that a lot of people don't realize, like, you know, like even when my mom is from another country, right? Like there was no way my mom could edit my essays. She's a smart cookie, but there was no way she could edit it. Like I'm sure your mom would have had a really hard time trying to edit your essays to perfection or know what to even write about, right? Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about your resume. So can you tell me a little bit about some of the things you did? And I have your resume right here. But can you talk a little bit? I mean, it's obvious you have, you know, great GPA, great courses that you took, but there were some amazing things that you did while you were in high school that I truly think made you stand out. Now, before we get into that, what are you interested in studying in college?
I'm interested in studying psychology and also biology.
Okay,
I'm still not exactly I'm going to major in, but
okay, no worries. So just so you know, everyone listening, biology can be one of the hardest majors to even be applying for. So that's an even double bonus there on getting into a top school. So, you know, there's obviously some experiences you have on your resume that talk a lot about, you know, why you're interested in what you're interested in. So do you mind kind of sharing and exploring maybe one or two things that you did that, you know, you really enjoyed while you were in high school?
One of the things I really enjoyed was interning at Aloe Vera Laboratories, which was an aloe vera manufacturing where I live. So I helped the chemical engineer with like daily quality checks of the products and checking like the pH and also data input for the factory.
Okay, awesome. So you worked at a lab, and it was like a really fun experience. What else did you do during your high school experience that you really liked? You know, I see here you've even had experience at a medical practice. You also, you know, you went to Carnegie Mellon for a diversity program as well as a business program at UT. Can you talk a little bit more about those two summer programs that you did?
So the Carnegie Mellon one was this past summer, actually. So I took two courses. One was about public health writing, and it was like a writing course, and the other one was modern biology. And it was basically like taking actual college courses. And then the other one at UT was about accounting. So I basically got to tour the Combs Business School and learn about different accounting activities.
Okay, great. So it seems like you had a lot of different experiences. Now, I have a question about that. If you don't mind sharing, I mean, you left your hometown to go to another place, right, for the Carnegie Mellon classes?
Yes.
Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about what that experience was like for you? I mean, for you to make a decision to leave your house and go do something like that by yourself?
It was really fun. I'm glad I got the experience to live somewhere else on my own. I'm used to traveling, but it was a different experience, like being independent. And I'm glad it was a little bit like college, not as free, but.
Got it. Yeah, so you got a little bit of taste of what college can be like, which I think is huge, right? It's like a very big experience. And, you know, one of the things that I know we had looked into was, you had a really long resume. There were a lot of things that you had in terms of, being involved with music, with band, Future Business Leaders of America, all of the honor societies. There was a lot of interscholastic leagues for writing. You had a lot of honors and awards as well for, APs. There was a lot of recognition. And I guess my question to you is, when you were first writing your resume to where it ended up, do you feel like you learned a lot? And tell me a little bit more about that experience of taking where your resume was at and then working with us and what it looked like after.
It was really helpful to work with College Shortcuts. I had a lot of trouble pinpointing on what wasn't as important. So it was nice having like that guidance in knowing what I should put on my resume.
Yeah, definitely. And also, like, what about from like a formatting standpoint?
Oh, my resume definitely improved in that aspect a lot.
What was it like before?
I think I had color in it, and it was like a crazy font or something.
Did it have stickers too? You're like, I wish. So it was like upwards of 7 pages, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a big thing. A lot of people, they want to talk about all the amazing things they've done, but there's a way to do it that is a perfect package for someone who's having to review upwards of 40,000 applications, right? And that, that was huge. Let's get into a little bit about, what was it like finding out that you got in? Can you kind of like, as if I have no idea, like walk me through what that experience was like this week? Like what happened?
So I was in English class yesterday and I clicked on the email that I got from Dartmouth and I saw the words like congratulations and I just started crying. And then I called after.
You called your mom?
Yes, and she was screaming.
So you were like literally in the middle of class.
Yes.
I know. I mean, it would be really hard to wait, right?
Yes.
And so like right before you opened it, were you really nervous or like?
Really nervous.
You were?
I was nervous the whole day.
Yeah, I'm sure. It was like definitely like, oh my God, I don't know if it's a yes or no. Was it hard for you to focus afterwards?
Yes, it was.
You were like, okay, I don't need to be in this class anymore. Bye, guys. See you later.
Yeah.
Did you tell anyone at school?
Yes, I did. I told all my friends, and they were happy for me.
They were really happy. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so cool. So it was emailed to you?
Yes.
Okay. So I think that's a big thing. A lot of people forget that acceptances are coming in through email, and so you have to like check your junk or your spam folders to make sure to go to trash or anything. So it's really exciting. And so that was a really big deal. I mean, when did you start thinking about the college process, would you say?
Well, it was always in my mind throughout high school, but I didn't really start like making a college list or anything until maybe, well, when I started with College Shortcuts, but I didn't really know how to take initiative and I guess like focus myself on the college process.
Yeah, so it's overwhelming, like you said. So it was like, I don't know where to start in it. And you're a top student, so you know how to start things and finish things. There's no doubt about it. But when you don't have the guidance or the mentorship, you're like, I don't know where to start with this project, right? Like there's no class on it. So let's talk about a little bit about what the experience was like working with us. Can you kind of share what that was like for you?
It was really great working with my coach and all the people at College Shortcuts. They were all really helpful. I was surprised by how promptly my mom and my emails were responded to, and what also really helped was the interview practice with my coach. That really helped when I had my Dartmouth interview because I was less nervous and I knew kind of what to expect.
Yeah, definitely. It's always more fun when you know what to expect, right? Like when you made the 1500 on the SAT, did you go in blind or did you practice?
I practiced.
Yeah, right? Same thing happens with the interview process. If you know what you're doing, it's awesome. Same thing goes with the resume and the essays. So let's talk a little bit about the essays. So I know, and I've looked through your essays, of course, they were absolutely amazing. Can you talk a little bit about the experience of, what it was like when you were first trying to do your essays on your own? versus, you know, being able to actually have someone involved in the process with you?
So having someone to set deadlines for me and I guess like format everything or write everything out on like the Google Doc, it was really helpful because I have trouble organizing. So I actually use some of the organization techniques that I learned with College Shortcuts for scholarships now.
Oh, awesome. So you're using a lot of the same techniques we taught you, and now you're applying to scholarships.
Yes.
Awesome. And I'm sure a lot of the essays we worked on now can actually work towards those applications, right? Yeah. And I tell students this all the time. You do work with us. You know, we've seen students get upwards of 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 in scholarships if they're willing to put the work in. And even if their applications are really good, we also see scholarships from the colleges itself, which is really exciting too. So let's talk about your essay. When you were given the Common App prompt, which was in February technically of this year, and you didn't really, when did you start working on your essay, to be completely honest with all the students out there?
I took bits and pieces of my essay from a class assignment, but then I also like wrote some of it when I started with College Shortcuts too. So it was a culmination of different things.
Okay, so when did you like kind of start drafting it, would you say?
Drafting it, maybe the end of my junior year, but that was like a very, very rough draft.
Okay, so you had it at, like, say, a really rough draft around May, June of this year, and your final draft didn't happen until after we had worked with you on it, right? Okay, and how fast did the process go when you handed us a draft to get it to final draft?
It was under 2 weeks, I think, right?
Yeah.
10 days or something like that. It was
Right.
crazy.
Literally 13 days when we were done. Let's talk a little bit about the speed of that experience. So when you were looking into doing college consulting or working with us, did you think that it would take forever? Like, what was the experience like of how fast things went for you?
I was really surprised, actually. I thought it would be more of like a long process, but it was like 2 weeks, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm done already.
Yeah, right? Isn't that such a good feeling?
It is.
It is. And would you say that some of the students in your grade were still not done when you were done?
No, they weren't.
Yeah. Are there still students applying?
Yes.
Yeah. It's painful. It's painful to watch, isn't it?
Mm.
It's painful for me to watch because we've been doing this for over, 12 years, and we see it year after year that people spend their Christmas break on this work, and they take a really long time. But your Christmas gift came in, way early compared to anybody else. So when did you officially submit your application to Dartmouth?
It was towards the end of October, I think.
Okay, end of October, prior to the, early deadlines, closer to like the beginning of November time, right?
Mm.
And so within, we're in December. So in less than 6 weeks, you heard back from an Ivy League. Yeah. Did you think that was possible?
I was surprised, yes.
Surprised, right?
Yeah,
right? Like, have a lot of students heard back from really top schools at your school right now?
I don't think so, no.
No, right? So I think that's one of the biggest things that people like underestimate. Erica, if you could talk to, let's say, a junior or a sophomore, let's just say a junior, what would you say, like, you wish you had done if you look at the whole process now?
I wish I had started narrowing down like a college list, because I knew which schools I was interested in, but I didn't know like the various statistics on them or what their prompts were year to year. And then also, I wish I had started on I guess I couldn't have started on the supplements. I wish I had started on them as soon as the school released them.
Yeah. Do you want to know when schools release these?
Yes.
First.
August?
But typically they're the same essays over and over.
Oh, okay.
Right? So I think one of the big messages, everyone, that Erica's saying is, I wish I started early, period, right? Knowing that you could get it done in less than 3 weeks, right? Like, if you look at the work we had done, we could have easily gotten a lot of this done prior to school starting, right? Like how many AP classes are you taking?
9.
9. I don't know if everyone's listening. 9 AP classes, plus trying to write all these essays and resume. Do you think this would have been really helpful if you had done it like July or August?
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. So would you say that would be like a big like leg up for a junior to like get their stuff started ASAP?
For sure, yes. I definitely.
Totally. And then I guess my other question also is like, if you were to meet a student who was similar to you, did well on the SAT or, got tutoring. Of course, you guys know we do tutoring for test prep and get students incredible scores. But let's say they have great grades, great test scores, and they're just like not sure what a college consultant is or what it is we exactly do. Can you explain it from a senior's perspective of like what it means when you work with us? Because I think a lot of students are like, I don't get what this is.
College consulting, I guess I would explain it as you help us set deadlines for ourselves so that we can finish our essays on time and help us like format our essays and resumes to fit like the college's standards.
Awesome. And would you say that one of the things we definitely help with is making sure like what you write about is important or relevant?
Yes.
Yeah? So
I
like
essays were over the word count, so it helped like having someone to narrow it down. I think that happened for one of my Dartmouth supplements.
Definitely. I think it was about like cells, and I was looking at one of your it was about like energy demand and like your guidance and chemistry and like photovoltaic cells and whatnot. It was a lot of really cool stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and sometimes, essays, you can get really technical, right? Like you and I are both nerds. So like I can get really nerdy about college stuff and get like really above people's heads really fast. And so one of the big things that I looked at when we looked at your essays before we edited it is there was a lot of terminology and technical stuff, but it was like, hold on, what is it that makes Erica special? Right? Like that was the big question over and over. How are we going to make her stand out and how are we going to make her special? So are you really excited about, going to Dartmouth next year?
I'm really excited.
Yeah? Super excited?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I bet you are. So, since you've decided early to go there, I know you've let go of your applications elsewhere, which is great because we always want to make sure other students can get into other dream schools of theirs. And so you're ready to, go to Dartmouth next year and make that happen for you. Are there any last words you may want to say just about your experience with College Shortcuts, about, just the entire experience and like how excited you are about this whole process and getting in?
I'm so glad Shortcuts. It really helped me. I think y'all were the reason that I was able to get into Dartmouth, a really big part of it, and I'm so excited to be attending.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, guys, I just wanted to do this quick video. Erica is, I know she was a little shy about getting on camera, but I told her that she's going to change students' lives forever, and I think, Erica, you may not realize this, but us just doing this interview and letting people hear your story about, all the hard work you've done, the fact that your mom's not even from here, how you tried your best at school with the guidance counselors, how you still didn't get the level of service you really needed while you were still a top student, like literally top, and you had a great SAT score, but you had spent like since May, June on that essay all the way through to October and still feeling overwhelmed. But then, you were able to kind of take action and work with us. And now within 2 weeks of working with us and then 6 weeks of when you sent your applications in, you are now accepted into an Ivy League and you are now going to Dartmouth College, which to me, when I got your text, I celebrated for you last night. I was like, yes, my whole team knew. We sent an email to our entire team out. We're like, Erica got in. Like everyone is super excited. So we celebrate just as hard, whenever someone gets in. And I wanted you guys to see a real live example of some of the most incredible students we work with. And so I've put a link below. If you guys are interested in learning more about our early bird, we're offering some incredible deals right now on this program the same program Erica did. So Erica, if you were talking to a junior parent right now who's on the fence, what would you say to them if they're like, I don't really know? Like, what would you say?
Y'all should definitely go with College Shortcuts. It was really great.
Awesome. Okay, great. Well, Erica, I am so excited. I'm going to be rooting for you. I want you to take it easy for midterms and take next semester to like relax a little bit and that next summer, because we are so excited that in August of next year, in about 8 or 9 months, you will be stepping foot on your dream college, your number one choice. And I am so proud of you for all the work that you've done. You know, a lot of people don't realize you're a dream for a lot of students. So I thank you so much. And again, appreciate you being here so much, Erica.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. And congratulations. And I'm so glad that you've recommended College Shortcuts to any student that's, you know, unsure. So so glad that you loved it. And if you have any questions or concerns or anything else that you ever need from us, please always reach out, because we're so excited. You should be getting your dorm bedding, get everything ready, like just move on with the new chapter. I'm so excited for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, right. I'm sure your mom's really excited, right?
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, because your mom at first was like, I don't know what college consulting even is, right? Like, she was definitely not sure what she was getting into. But she was awesome. Okay, well, Erica, thank you so much for being on today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.